welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
Bronco Country, let's ride.
What a game last night.
What a game.
I mean, of course Broncos won. I'm happy.
Russell is back.
He is. I mean, that last drive right there. One-handed catch by Sutton on 4th and 3. Russell scrambling out and just lobs it perfectly to him. Only him can catch it. And then, of course, the touchdown pass where Sutton, again, is the only one that was able to jump up and catch it. So, I mean, they're looking good. But, again, they need to complete these turnovers and get points off of.
Yeah, but you got to look at it this way. Here's two of the hottest teams in the league coming in. Their season started off really rough. They got hot. They're beating teams that people didn't think they were going to beat, especially Broncos, right? They beat probably some better teams, I would imagine. But two hot teams come in. They played a 1-point game, and Denver finds themselves on top and at 500. And
we haven't been at 500 in 7 years.
Well, and in a division,
10 games in, yeah.
In a division where nobody can win except for the Chiefs, and then you've got some teams like this. You know, we put the whole Central. Don't call them Central anymore.
No, not anymore. That was the 90s.
Sorry, that was a flashback. The North, they are they're all beaten up on each other over there. Now Cincinnati's lost their quarterback, so they're falling out. So you know,
State of Ohio.
I don't want to say the
quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't want to say the Broncos are going to be in the playoffs, but if they just keep winning,
can't
keep them out.
I think looking into that game before that last drive, I think a stat came up. If Broncos lost, they would have had like an 18% chance of making the playoffs. With the win, I think it pushes it to like 28, 30%. So I mean, there's still a lot to do because. And AFC North is so powerful right now. I think you still have 3 teams in the division in the playoff picture.
As our buddy Thurston likes to say, just win, baby, and then it'll take care of itself.
So, yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I hate playing that game as a Seahawk fan when you're like, oh, like last year, for instance, okay, if we win and the Packers lose and the Lions beat the Packers, we'll get in.
Yeah.
And yeah, that worked out. But typically, when you're needing the Red Sea to just part, it's just tough.
No, it should be up to you as the team to win and make the playoffs. You shouldn't rely on other teams to lose or beat someone else to make it. It's basically who has the best record at the end of the game or at the end of the year, and that means just win.
Well, I don't want to talk about the Seahawks today. I think that we're a team that's we're just average at this point, an average team. And it's kind of like the Broncos, right? They started off bad, and now they're playing good. You put their record together, they're 5-5, they're average.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Broncos,
Seattle starts off hot, start off 6-3. I felt like we lost, a game or two that we probably should have won. But you're not clobbering teams. You're having to come back in a lot of games. You're hanging on, or you're just finding yourselves not stopping teams on third down and then not picking up first downs on third down. And yesterday they had 16 first downs. We talked about that last night. 7 of those are on their first drive to get a touchdown. That's just not going to cut it. And a lot of those were with Geno. He was only out the last three of the last 4 drives. He came back in on that last drive. Actually threw some darts and brought our kicker out who's been on fire, and he just couldn't come through. But like Tyler Lockett was saying, he just said, it doesn't come down to the one kick, really.
Oh, no.
We could have done 100 different things.
Yep.
However, that's what you get paid to do. That's what you get paid to do. So you let your team down in the one thing that you can do for the team. There might be a guy that missed a block during the game to get a first down, but he might have got that block on another first down or a scoring play. So, he didn't do his job. And then for anybody who says that Locke needs to come in, shut your mouth, because it's at best a lateral move, which we found out, no, it's not. Locke is not a good quarterback.
No,
you can attest to this.
Yeah, he wasn't the answer in Denver either. Obviously, we made that trade to Seattle. Locke was a backup. He would come in, be a starter, not do as well, or just be average. Again, lateral move. It doesn't solve anything. Talking about the Jets too, we can talk about that as well. Like, do you bring in another quarterback?
They have to.
Yeah, they have to at this point. I mean, they did. They did bench Zach Wilson in the third quarter, but yeah, as far as Seattle, I mean, I think you're better off with Geno.
Way better.
Way better off than Locke. Locke is not going to solve anything. Locke is not going. He'll win maybe 1 or 2 games out of 5, but again, that's not solving anything.
And then I not this. We don't want to talk about the Seahawks all day, but he came in. He threw actually a nice pass down the middle. We had Njigba wide open, who wasn't even looking for the ball. Then he throws another one down the sideline. Wasn't a great throw, and then another one that was picked off later. I think his last drive, but he looked a little. He did not look prepared to come in, and then when Geno came in on that last drive, you could read it all over his face.
Yeah,
they don't have any faith in me. And here we go again. This feels like Denver, right? Where he's just going around holding that clipboard. He came in earlier in the year knowing Geno would come back. And I think there's no pressure. He's just like, I'll just zip the ball.
Just do my job real quick.
But Geno looked really hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he was like,
I'd be hurt too if I got tackled by Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, that looked violent. It looked violent.
Yeah.
But,
oh, man.
Anyway, some other great games. The Niners, Purdy throws a perfect game.
Niners are back. Like, I don't know what happened to them during their little 3-game losing streak.
Well, maybe this left tackle and Samuels makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, Debo and Williams, Trent Williams. Those are the 2 big injuries. And now they lost their safety, their stud safety. He tore an ACL. I saw the play. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Guy did this. Remember last night we were watching, and the guy, Judy, looked like he was going to throw the ball.
Yeah, they faked that.
The guy did the same thing. He threw the ball out like this, and he went for it, and his knee just caught in the turf. Oh, done. He's done.
Oh, man.
But so that's a major blow to the defense. Yep. But they're the type of team that's going to lock and reload, and their front 4.
Yeah,
and then the linebackers.
That line does make Purdy look good, and it showed yesterday for sure.
Yeah, it's just they're just they were talking about on the radio as I was driving in here, and they just look like the best team in the league. And who knows why they lost those 3 in a row? If those 2 guys are that big for the team, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Or they just got too big of heads and got a little cocky, and which is a lot like your fans. So your fans are a little cocky. You guys know it.
Yep.
Anyway, go Hawks. Suck it, 49er fans. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's see how our picks did.
And we'll start with the power rankings. Not much changed because honestly, Seahawks is the only team in the power rankings last week that lost. Just so your viewers know, today's Monday morning. We have not gotten into the Monday night game with the Chiefs and Eagles. So keep that in mind when we moving forward with this episode. So
whoever loses,
honestly, whoever wins or loses, they're probably just going to flip flop.
That doesn't matter. They're still
one
really good teams.
Yep.
And they're better than the Seahawks.
Yeah, yeah. So Seahawks, they go down. You can argue that Texans could have maybe snuck in there. But looking at the Seahawks schedule, they play a harder schedule than the Texans do. And with that reason, I think they still deserve credit being in the top 10. Because if they win, 5 or not, they have 5 tough games in the next 5 weeks.
The rest of their games are tough. Let's just go through it. They play the Niners, then the Cowboys, then the Niners again, then the Eagles, and then we play
Arizona?
No, Arizona's the last game of the year. I can't remember. There's another game in there. But then they play the Steelers and then Arizona.
Okay.
There's one other game in there I can't recall.
So again, if just even those 5 games right there, if they win 3 of them, then they still deserve.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out real quick.
Yep.
Real quick.
Yeah.
We got the Niners coming in. They are at home, and they have to win that game.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. They have to win that game to have a chance to go into Dallas, who looks as good as anybody. Also, play them, which and then another road game against the Niners, and they're not going to beat the Niners twice. I just can't see it happening. And if it does, then put us back up there. Wolf, put us a little higher.
Oh, I will.
I like the Browns there at 9.
Yeah, they had a good win.
Why?
A defensive game right
Why
there.
did number 10 play? Is he hurt also?
For the Browns?
Yeah, their quarterback.
Walker? Yeah, Walker. The other quarterback? No. So
Why didn't he play? They played some
I
other
don't
guy.
know. Also I heard about the Browns. They signed or they moved Joe Flacco to the practice squad.
Flacco's on the team.
Yeah, I actually saw it over the weekend.
That guy's got to be hurt then.
Oh,
number 10, because he was playing good.
He was. He played a few games when Watson was out. But yeah, I saw a post on Facebook. Someone shared they're on an airplane and they see Joe Flacco on a flight to Cleveland, and she mentions like, "Hey, why are you here?" It's like, "Well, you'll see in the news." And shortly later, he was signed to the practice squad. So
yeah, you know what I remember most about Joe Flacco is when he signed his big contract with the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
They said he celebrated by going to McDonald's and ordering up like I don't know what I order, Big Mac or something. Who knows? Browns, yeah,
they move up, and then honestly, I decided not to move anyone else up. Everyone won, so they just stay put. So okay, Cowboys, they had a great game, blowout game really against the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers losing season again.
Yeah, Jaguars had a good game.
They bounced back.
Yeah, they bounced back. Yeah.
Dolphins.
I was considering maybe having Jaguars above the Dolphins. Dolphins played a mediocre game against.
They still
Raiders.
Haven't beat a team with a winning record because Raiders came in 500,
and now they're losing. They're under 500. So
Dolphins are still a question mark. Lions,
they had a great comeback, I will say. Jared Goff, he had 3 picks.
4 turnovers total.
4 turnovers total. So
to win a game with 4 turnovers, you're a good team.
Yeah. Your defense is good.
You are a good team. I guarantee that there's maybe the Niners. I don't even know if Philadelphia could do it or the Chiefs, but 4 turnovers to come back and win, that's
impressive.
I know it was the Bears, but the Bears look good.
I mean, Bears bring a good game. They have a few times this year. They can't complete the game, but
Lions are as good as anybody.
Yeah.
Niners.
I thought about moving up the Niners above the Ravens, who are at 3. But then again, Ravens, they had a good game.
They are looking good, but they're still a team that lost 3 in a row, and we don't know if they can do that again.
So
or not.
Again, there's nothing much.
And who's to say Trent Williams doesn't get hurt on a play, and then Brock Purdy doesn't feel so comfortable back there.
Nope.
Ravens, they had a
Thursday night game.
Yeah, they
beat the Bengals.
Would they have won if Burrow doesn't get hurt? Let's talk a little bit about Burrow and the whole wrist injury.
Yeah, because he had a little cast on or something coming to the game, and
you got a raise.
you see a video, and then Cincinnati Bengals, they deleted that video.
But let's also keep in mind he was throwing some darts in the game.
In the game, yeah.
Yeah, prior to that injury. Nobody knew anything. The thing I saw is the guy kind of landed on his hand as he was coming down. So if that maybe finished off the injury that he had?
Yeah.
Was he riding a skateboard or maybe one of those...
could have been just a strain to begin with, and then...
What are those things that you stand on and they move?
Like a hoverboard, or I don't know.
I can't remember what those are called.
One wheel?
Well, those too, right? Yeah. Anyway...
and then you have the Chiefs and the Eagles tonight. So obviously if Eagles win, they're still number 1. If Chiefs win, they'll move up to 1. Eagles will just drop down to 2.
Was this one of your picks? Nobody had this.
No one had this game. Yep.
Who do you got?
I do have the Eagles. I would like to see it to be a revenge game.
I was definitely listening to the sports radio over the weekend, and everyone picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think everyone.
And I was like, I'm going to pick the Eagles, but here I am, not suffering making picks. So I was like, okay, well.
No, I do still believe if Chiefs
Eagles are taking this game.
Yeah, I'm picking the Eagles, but if Chiefs do lose, I still have them above the Ravens.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was Wolf's top 10. Let us know what you think.
Yep. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. Nothing much has changed as far as everything goes. I think it's the same teams. Mm-hmm. Steelers were at that 5 seed spot. They just dropped down to 7. So pushes Browns and Texans up.
Texans, look at that.
1 through 4 don't change much either. Everyone is leading their division.
Here's some teams that you don't normally see in the playoffs: Jags, Dolphins, Browns, Texans. Those are teams that, historically, you just don't see in the playoffs.
No,
the Dolphins haven't won since Dan Marino.
Maybe a wild card every other year, but they don't win it. So
Jaguars,
the fact that they're leading their division.
They had a little run there, a small run for a couple seasons. Who was that quarterback? You don't even hear from him anymore. Boyles. Yeah. That was it. And then before that, it was Mark Brunell back in the 90s when they went into Denver and beat Elway.
Oh, man. That's the one game that I don't like to think about.
There's some history for you, folks. So kind of cool to see new teams in there for sure. And then if you look over here, pretty much teams
the same from last week. Vikings, Seahawks, I think they switch.
But here's the team right here, the Lions, that you just don't see. And if they ever did make the playoffs throughout the years, it was one and done.
Yep.
They didn't even win a playoff game.
Well, right now, if they would be playing the Vikings, the 2 seed will be playing the Vikings that wild card weekend.
Crazy to see the Seahawks still in there. I'm so disappointed. Okay, let's move along.
Well, okay, with that, so looking at that 8 seed going in is the Green Bay Packers at a record of 4-6. So really, if you could just edge yourself above that 500 in the NFC, I think you'll be in it.
But
playoffs. The NFC is not powerful.
As the Seahawks, you make it to the playoffs, you're going to lose. Just like last year, we had to play the Niners, and it wasn't even close. Even Coach Carroll, who's the most positive guy you'll ever hear, he goes, "It's great we made the playoffs. Unfortunately, we got to play the 49ers." That's what he said. I'm like, he doesn't even think we're going to win. Anyway, here we go. Week 10 pick results. It was...
We'll go with you first.
All right, here we go. So the Cowboys I picked over the Panthers. Obviously, that's a victory. Raiders, Dolphins.
You were debating on this one.
I did, and it was a close game.
It was.
And it came down to a Hail Mary.
Hail Mary interception in the end zone, yeah.
So Dolphins win. Glad I got that pick. Texans, I had to pick them over the Cardinals. They have more to play for. Yep. And they came
You almost went with the Cardinals again.
I wanted to pick the Ravens. I literally wanted to pick the Ravens. The only reason I picked the Bengals was because I needed to go opposite to see if I can get because my picks aren't working out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, every time I pick, the other team wins. So otherwise I would have swept. So, but Burrow,
3-1.
If Burrow stays in that game, who knows? It could be different. But congratulations to the Ravens. Travis's picks, I don't really want to look, but here we go.
Pick the Lions. They had a good comeback win. I was actually kind of worried there at the end there.
Yeah, and then Bucks Niners. It was actually a little closer than I thought, but Niners handily beat them.
And I went with my heart, of course, on this one, the Broncos. I think everyone else, even America was cheering for Vikings. So.
Well, how do you not with Dobbs?
But again, are Broncos, are they back?
Could be.
Is their defense back?
And
completely turned around from week 3 when they lost to the Vikings.
Just like Dolphins. Your Broncos winning 4 in a row, you went 4-0 in this week's picks.
Yep.
Picking the Jags over the Titans, who handily handed it to the Titans.
That is the one game I did not. I saw a lot of highlights from the Jaguars throughout the day on the TV or on Red Zone. Nothing from the Titans.
Billy Jean, is he struggling?
Yeah, he did get a touchdown pass. I think that was it. It wasn't a game I was watching, so I couldn't tell how he reacted after, if he was hit or I don't know if he had any picks. I didn't look at the stats, but
look at this. You're dominating me. We have flip-flopped our picks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the way it goes.
Hey, it's a good thing we didn't really make a true bet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what happened last time.
It's just respect, really, at the end of the year.
I still got a few weeks to go to make up for it. But if you're going to go undefeated, I'm not going to have a chance. I still lost another game on you, and I had a good week. I'd take 3-1 the rest of the way out.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so let's get to the bag. These are the Thanksgiving games.
We're just going to do the Thanksgiving games.
Okay, no bag this week.
No bag this week.
Wow, so we're not going to have any fun today. So let's just go to the picks. Thanksgiving games, Packers and Lions.
You know what? I said this at the beginning of the year when they first played. They played in Lambeau, and I believe the Lions won that game. I believe I picked them, but then I was like, you know what? I think the Packers are going to beat the Lions at Detroit. I'm going to take back that pick. I'm going to pick Lions in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the Lions on this game. They are just looking dominant on defense. Love struggles at times. He is not looking like their franchise quarterback. I mean,
Well, everybody
he might be there next year, but
everybody looks all world against the Chargers. I am so sorry to you Charger fans. They have a team and they can't win.
And they can't stay in the city to keep their fans. So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So I got the Lions too.
Okay.
It's always exciting to wake up Thanksgiving morning. So much is happening. You know your day. You've got these traditions. Well, for me and my family, it was always the game was on. Mom's cooking. We're running around helping her watching the game. Running around helping her watching the game, and then as dinner is ready, that one's winding up, and we're having hors d'oeuvres or whatever, and then we always were eating during the Cowboy game. Because dinner's at 2. And that game starts at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Yeah, so we'd watch a little bit, go have dinner, eat. Sometimes the TV was in front of us. Sometimes it was, depending on where we were. But so anyway, always exciting. And then I think this is the third time in my life I can remember the Seahawks playing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think Denver has played once. And it was like 10 years ago or something like that.
The first time we played, I was very, very excited.
Uh-huh.
We played the Cowboys, and it was Emmitt Smith breaking the Walter Payton's record.
Really?
Yep, beat the Hawks that day.
Okay.
And then it was another game in 2005 that we played, and that game has different memories for me altogether.
Yeah.
It was the last meal that I had together with my family.
Oh, really?
We ended up getting divorced. That was the last meal.
Oh.
So
last supper.
And the Seahawks play. It was our last supper. Yeah. So anyway, Commanders, Cowboys. Boy, the Commanders play everybody close except for the Giants.
Yeah, they did not show up.
What?
It blows my mind how some teams, and Commanders is one, they play close games like against the Eagles, and then they don't show up against the Giants. So again, that's an up in the air team.
Well, here's another thing. Right? Are the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Are the Cowboys due for a loss?
I don't know.
I'm
going to go with the Cowboys because again, they have a good defense. Dak, he does play a good game every other. I'll go Cowboys.
I'm definitely going Cowboys.
Okay. I was hoping to go Commanders.
No, I can't lose any more ground on you. So now I've got to be smart.
Okay, so you're just going to pick the same games I picked?
No. If the Commanders would have beat the Giants, I probably would have leaned more towards the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact what the Giants just did, how the Cowboys handed it to the Giants twice this year.
Yeah.
The Commanders play the Eagles tough. But, sometimes it's about matchups. It's just like the Rams sweeping the Seahawks this year. It's like, what?
Yeah.
They have 3 wins, and 2 of them, or 4 wins, and 2 of them are against the Hawks.
Yeah, half their wins.
Anyway, I'm taking the Cowboys. Taking the home teams to have the pure advantage on Thanksgiving morning. What a day.
Yeah.
What the tradition's like for those season ticket holders at these games.
Oh, I know. I bet they look forward to that
game. I would too.
Well, especially when you are at home, the Lions Cowboys, every year they play Thanksgiving. But
one of these years, I want to go watch the Cowboys play in that stadium against the Seahawks. If they play again, I'm going to go to that Thanksgiving game.
Yeah. My traditions at my house are pretty. I love my traditions with my family. We go down to Boise. We usually get there a couple days before. Same thing with my brother. He's up here in Moscow with his family. So we go down, and it's the one time of the year where we know all of us are getting all together. Because I have 2 brothers, a sister. So it's fun. We usually stay there 3-4 nights. And yeah, Thanksgiving is kind of the same thing. We wake up. I watch football most throughout the day. I'll go up, and we all have our different dish that we make. My dad obviously is in charge of the turkey and the stuffing. I make the potatoes. My brother, he makes the pie with his wife. My other brother makes an awesome green bean
Well,
casserole.
let's not be making me hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
But yeah, anyway, it's just we have our dinner. I think right after the Cowboy game, right before the Sunday or the Thursday night game. So it's timed out perfectly.
Yeah. So I think I said the Seahawks played the Cowboys in '05. It was actually '08 that they played. It was 2008 that last. So yeah, Niners at Seahawks. I could have made this part of my tradition this year and went to the game as a season ticket holder, but I decided to sell that game just because I have family and it's my year to have my kids, even though we still kind of follow the kids are older now, but we do all that. And then, of course, I have to prepare the turkey. My dad passed away, so now that's my job. So
Oh,
I make the turkey. My mom does everything
torch
else.
has been
And
passed on to you.
you think my sister would help, but basically she just shows up late with a veggie tray that she picked up at Costco. But anyway, way to go, Trinell. We know that takes effort. Um, anyway, Niners at Seahawks. I got to take my Hawks at home. I don't want to.
Yep.
But
Well,
I know who you're going to take, so I'm going to do one different pick.
there you go. And you did say if you're gonna win one game against the Niners, it's probably your odds are better at Seahawks.
This is the only. This is it.
This is it. So, but yeah, I am gonna go with the Niners. They're they're looking good. They're looking back as they were when they were 5-0. So, yeah, I picked the Niners in this game.
All right. Well, there you go.
And then we do have one more game.
Black Friday. That's right. The
Yeah.
historical inaugural Black Friday game.
Yeah, the first one.
Well, that's what inaugural means.
Yeah, I know.
Charles.
I know. The viewers, I was just letting
Yeah,
them know.
in case they didn't know. Yeah, all four of them. Okay, Black Friday. So Dolphins at Jets. Here we go. Jets suck without the quarterback. They have a great defense, but you can only play hard for so long knowing that you're going to be right back out there.
Is Zach gonna be starting?
Do they have a choice?
I don't know. Tim Boyle, their backup quarterback, didn't look much different. So
I don't think they're going to get Flacco ready in time. He basically was eating
Well, he's in
McDonald's on the
Cleveland.
couch. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's in Cleveland.
Dang it, he didn't even go
Again,
to the Jets. What are the Jets doing?
Jets are just kind of
Was
shooting
Flacco
themselves.
with the Jets?
I think he was last
for
year.
a while.
Yeah, and I think he even started above Wilson in a few games. But Jets shot themselves in the foot this year. They win 3 games right before the trade deadline. They don't
Why
get a
wouldn't
quarterback.
they get Matt Ryan?
I don't. Oh yeah, or even Philip Rivers.
Is he wanting to come back?
I heard.
Well, he just had his 10th kid. He's got to pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, he probably had his 14th kid, so
yeah, literally just had their 10th kid 2 days ago.
Really? Oh, well, so I'm sure their first kid is going to college now. So
they said his entire kids and him create an NFL team, right? Either defense, offense, probably offense because he's going to throw the ball. But yeah, there you go.
So I got the Dolphins. Jets, they don't know what they're doing right now. The defense is looking great. I mean, they're keeping them in these low-scoring games.
Season's over. Dolphins basically have to score 10 points. We know they can score more than that. So yeah, Dolphins easy.
Yep, all day long. Dolphins over Jets.
So anyway, that's our Thanksgiving show. We did it a day early.
Yeah. So keep in mind whenever this airs. We'll try to get it out today, Monday. If not, most likely
Tuesday. Wednesday at the worst if Travis doesn't do his job.
I am traveling tomorrow, so. But yeah, hopefully we'll just get it to you when we can, and we'll just kind of play it by ear.
So, yeah.
Well, you have anything thankful since it is Thanksgiving? Anything you want to?
It's been quite a year, you guys. I mean, you take this real estate market, right? We're both in real estate. Interest rates are sky high. Inflation's sky high. People are spending less money. Cooney County's doing okay. a lot of cash deals. So the people that have cash coming in, but
Yeah.
our lenders, our numbers are down. Most realtors are down unless you're working with these people that have a lot of money and cash buyers, and that's how you built your real estate business. You're probably having a decent year, but overall, everybody's down. I'm down. And in a year of being down and just being frustrated with that, so many blessings happening
Oh,
around.
absolutely.
So I'm thankful for a year that God brought to me to strengthen me, to make me stronger, to make me appreciate what I do have and not what I'm not getting. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Yeah, I mean, I can say the same thing. I have a 15-month-old son. Again, I'm in real estate, and I look at it. He is my commission.
Yeah.
I do Thursday, Friday, daddy daycare, and those are just times I take for granted. Like, I love it. He's a joy, terror at times because he's running around, climbing up on things, and
Well, if he's anything like you, I can't imagine.
but no, yeah, he is a joy to Jamie and I, and I'm very thankful for that. And of course, everything else too, family, friends. I'm thankful for you, man. Football, I'm thankful for that. The Broncos are at 500.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big.
So, but yeah, no, I agree with you too.
And here's the deal: if the Broncos can win, inflation can come down, and so can interest rates. So
yeah, so everyone cheer for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Maybe things can happen.
Yeah, you never know.
So I'm thankful for life and what God has given us. You never know what tomorrow is going to be, but I wake up every morning just like you, and we just take it for what is given to us.
Absolutely. If you're struggling out there, I encourage you to invest in a relationship with Jesus, and because life is hard, it's difficult, it's not easy, but with Jesus, it's easier. So I encourage you, if you're struggling, get into prayer, get into some quiet time, and let Jesus take the wheel, as they say. Anyway, that's our show for today.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Don't overeat. You're going to be whining about it like me.
Go for seconds or thirds.
That's our show. Section 325. We're out.
Second half.